Hey, it's Josh. Just relaxing right now. Just figured we'd hang out for a minute. Got Tigger here. Say hello, Tigger. Say hello. Who's that? Look like somebody you know? Yeah? Don't tell me hello. Say hello to them. Apparently she's camera shy. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. Almost over being sick here. Spend all my time every day thinking, where should life go from here? Where can it go from here? A lot of days I question being blessed to be alive. I still keep my faith, no matter how many times I cry, feeling I'm trapped in another dead end situation. One after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. 40 years now, and it's just getting down to the something's got to freaking change. God damn flies. Ugh. It's not one thing, it's another. Things I have to deal with on a daily basis are ridiculous. What the heck is that? Or maybe it's on the, no. Well, anyway. Nobody should have to deal with this kind of stuff. Especially someone as bright, as charming, as experienced in the world, with so many facets of life, so many cultures. Somebody that want all I ever think about, even when I'm starving, sleeping on the floor, waking up every hour because a fly lands on my face, because I get bit by a bug, because people get to walk right through my room like I don't even exist, because it's always something. I can't even sleep. I don't get to eat on my time. I got a family, if you want to call them that. They ain't here for nobody. My family is the most selfish family I ever met. And all they ever talk about is poor me, poor me, poor me. And no matter how many of them band themselves together, it never gets better. Every time I call my mom, I ask, so how you doing, Mom? You know, up until a certain point in my life, I call her every single Sunday, because I'm a good son. Not real, and she always told me, oh, you can tell me anything. As soon as I started to spiritually awaken, then my mom started hanging up on me. She stopped answering the phone. She started treating me weird. I didn't even realize she always treated me weird, but it's funny how you gotta wait till you're 35 years old before you realize your whole life previously, and then it just comes back like a freaking avalanche on you, and hindsight's 2020, right? And all I want to be is a humanitarian. As much as I love creativity, I don't know how to make money off that. I've never done music. No matter how good I am at anything, and who I am and what that means, I always am left feeling like an imposter. And whatever I would have wanted to say, somebody else already said it. And somebody can make an animated GIF and sell that sucker for 4 Ethereum and make 10,000 bucks off a freaking graphic. But I can't even get a hold of $1 based on anything, like how good I am to people, my struggle, my story. Nobody seems to notice. And all they do, invite me in and then stomp all over me. Now last weekend, I've been going through a pretty hard time, and I've kind of got a little bit of momentary solace. I mean, me and the girls aren't on the street, but shit, most days it hardly feels much different. And the people that I'm around now, they get wasted every weekend, which everybody has the right to do whatever they want. I like getting wasted too. I spent my 20s doing that. But every time we start drinking together, pretty soon, I become the topic of everybody's focus, everybody's discussion. Shit turns sideways. 3 weekends ago, I barely been in the house in 2 days. And then I got somebody trying to stab me who already has a record, is going to court for stabbing somebody actually. And nobody stood up for me. When I was a guest, I just moved into the house and nobody stopped him. I had to deal with him while I'm cooking them dinner. And then just a couple days ago, I decided, well, I'm done drinking for a while because I don't know what happened, but we're all just sitting there at the table drinking, and they like to do shots. So like every time somebody's like, "Hey, you're gonna give me another shot," then we all have to take a shot. And that's not how I drink, but when you're in somebody else's company, you kind of go with the flow. Next thing I know, there ain't nobody around. I wake up on the floor with my head split open, like somebody just came up behind me and fucking clubbed me. There ain't nobody around. Even my chair was put back up. How was my chair put back up if I fell out of the table? As there was something fishy going on. Yeah, a big old fucking goose egg on the back of my head, but I'm still alive. So I'm kind of tired of drinking right now. And then the next day, I go next door, and one of our friends had disappeared for a few days. Well, his roommate comes over and says, "Come get him," like I'm his dad or something. Like everybody's problem is my problem. Anytime somebody has a problem, they make me the problem, right? What's up with that shit? So then I go over. The dog's licking his face and crap. Like we're all like picking up his leg, like jerking around, like, hey, come on, you waking up? No. So I rolled me a couple cigarettes. Haven't don't quit that yet. I don't spend money on them, so don't think that. I find a way. It's the only stupid thing I gotta hold on to sometimes to get me through hunger or stress until life gets better. So then he leaves, go fishing. Then our friend wakes up and wants to come over to. Well, technically he got kicked out of there and he got forced into the place where I'm living. Fuck. So then we come over, and he's like, then I was sobering up from the night before, starting to get drowsy. And he's like, here, you want some SoCo or whatever? I'm like, sure, I guess why not? I gotta babysit you now too. Like, I ain't got nothing, and I gotta babysit everybody. And every time something goes wrong, everybody looks at me. And then he leaves. After the bottle's gone, I go to bed. I don't really want to see anybody because I don't want any fucking more trouble. Because there's always trouble. Because I've almost been in a fight like 4 or 5 times since I've been here. Over nothing. And it had nothing to do with me. Any of those freaking times. To wake up yesterday morning, come out, talk to one of the housemates, and she said, "Oh yeah, I'm good." Everybody else pissed off. Why is that? Oh, because so and so says you stole his liquor last night. And I'm like, no, couldn't have been me because I got Josh, and that's me. And our other friend already had booze, and I was already buzzed. So I didn't need your stuff. I rolled my cigarettes, and we went to my place, and he already had his drink. So why would we take yours? And then she says, then somebody else says I stole his drink too. What the hell? Everybody thinks I'm stealing their shit. They're the ones providing it. Way more than I can handle. Why would I go around stealing more? Like, what the fuck? I mean, everybody's just ridiculous. I just want out of this situation. They're all good people. You know, they're just salt of the earth people. Whatever. I've grown up around people like this my whole life. My grandmother was an alcoholic. She would wake up like 4:30 in the morning, go pee, and go to her bedroom fridge. That mother looked like it was Super Bowl every day. You got rows and rows and racks and racks all over Milwaukee. If it was me, she'd be wasted by noon. And by 10 o'clock in the morning, she'd be getting a ride because she couldn't drive to the freaking bar. And they'd be drinking till mid-afternoon, and then come home and continue and make dinner every freaking day for 30 years. And I could do without alcohol. That shit's evil. If you ask me, they should make that stuff what you test for, and pot should be legal. But see, you know, everything's bent backwards, right? So the shit that gets everybody killed and whatever, they can make a lot of money off of that and make it legal. When the first thing about liquor and the law is you can't be in public intoxicated. Well, then why are there bars? If you're in a bar drinking, you're in public getting intoxicated. And you have to go home, so that means you have to go outside. And even if you're in a person's vehicle that is designated driving you, you are still intoxicated in public. So why does the law allow this? You see, everybody's screwed. Ain't nothing makes any sense. So I guess that's that about alcohol. I'd rather be doing a lot of other things. But I need some money. Now I need a safe place to live. I don't know how I'm going to help the world. I have all kinds of good visions for it. Or at least for a corner of it, if nothing else. They say to make a difference, it just takes one of us. But what if everybody's trying to bury the one of us that's trying to make a difference? Every time. When it comes down to that, then anybody just... It's a fight within yourself. Like, do I want to be somebody? Or do I just want to be left alone and go to work every day and come home and be by myself? But I can't have either of those. I don't know how to help people. Any more than they let us help them, right? Everybody has to help themselves. But most everyone has some kind of support, some kind of system, somehow. I mean, if I was going to advocate something, I couldn't really do it from Madison, South Dakota, because there ain't nothing to advocate here. And to make sure that anybody that's struggling gets shipped out to Sioux Falls. If you don't have a place to live, hey, the police department will drive you down there. They'll put you up for one night and be like, fuck you, buddy. Now see if you can get your ass back, huh? And then now you're where the lions are, and you ain't got shit. What if you got pets? Yeah, well, you might as well fucking shoot them in the backyard, because nowhere in town will they take cats. You know? The demographic of Madison, the only one that exists that needs help, are single mothers. But that's everywhere in the world. I want to travel the world. I want to help people in groups and individually raise up out of that situation. I'm having a hard time raising up off of anything here in America. I've done almost every kind of job there is imaginable. There ain't nothing I can't fix. That's the kind of angel I want to be. I saw this, I posted in an old playlist in the last week or whatever, a video of these girls. I'm pretty sure they might have been Armenian. They're definitely an Islamic country, whatever. And they're all living in the dump. Literally living in the dump. There's nothing but trash. And every day they go through all the trash as it gets dumped off. And one little girl is excited her day is made because she found some glasses, some plastic little glasses. They're busted on one side, so she's trying to dig through the trash with one hand, holding her sunglasses up, and she's still happy as a peach. And they're there filming this, right? And these kids are singing together. There's about 8, 10 of them maybe. And they're reporting on this or whatever. And at one point, they're all singing. They're talking about, hey, there's people who got it worse than us. So, you know, it's all good. At least we have each other. But I'm not so sure about that where I'm at in America. We don't have that. I don't have that kind of thing in my life. Everything I say, everything I do, that's all anybody ever thinks about. Until they find a way to use it against me. They don't think about their own lives, and they don't think about how they can help. They think about how they can use anything I say to destroy me. What the hell is a mindset like that worth? What's it for? That shouldn't even exist. Well, anyway, these girls, most of them are actually little girls. There's a couple boys, but they're singing about how lucky they are because they have each other. At that point, I just started crying. Had to turn it off because I don't have that. And what makes me sick is that these people that are filming this got the money to go over and film this and make money off of it. And if it was me, I would report on this and had people there to fucking take these kids home somewhere where they belong. No, they just got left in the dump. They'll all probably be dead. They're probably all dead now. This is probably more than 5 years ago. System just making money off of recording our pain and doing a goddamn thing about it. That's what pisses me the fuck off. If you're gonna go report on something and make a difference, do something about it. God damn it. Why is everybody gotta fucking stand behind a camera like a little fucking, like they're a ghost and they can't do nothing? But, oh yeah, you're so educated. Oh, look, you got all these resources. Oh, you're so famous as a reporter, all this shit. Oh yeah, but what fucking good are you? Oh, you're bringing attention to this, so that you can walk away and all them people can die anyway. You ain't helping nobody. If you're gonna go over there and fucking try to make a difference, then you better fucking bring somebody home. At least one, goddammit. What is wrong with the world? Doesn't change shit. Like California, that mother is tore the fuck up like Philadelphia. Jesus Christ. America, where the fuck you at? Some of the worst places in America. It looks like freaking like Haiti, like people building shelters out of scrap. Not even tall enough you could stand up and no heat or whatever. And just gathering trash, just like these kids in third world country, just to survive. And this guy said that there's like 5 different places in this city. I think it was in San Francisco, actually. Nonprofits, right? And tried to get any of them to speak on camera, talk about what they're doing for people. Not one of them would even come on camera to talk about it, because they ain't doing shit for nobody. They're just robbing everybody and making the problem worse. And people that are middle class, whatever, just think, oh yeah, I'll put some change in the tray. You know, oh yeah, I'll give my change to the homeless or whatever. And all that money does is it just goes in somebody else's pocket. It probably goes in an investment account, multiplies, and then maybe out of the 40 cents you put in, it turns into $50, and then they take the 20 cents out of that and they put it back into the people. It doesn't even make sense. See, nonprofits are just another way to shelter money. And sure, when I become a millionaire, once you got enough money, because of the way the tax man is, you got to. But not for selfish like that. Like one of the nonprofits had over 40 employees. You know how much money it costs to pay 40 employees? And it's a nonprofit. In San Francisco, where it costs $3,000 for a cheap apartment for one. So, what are we trying to do here? God damn it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. What are we trying to do here? Why is everybody so money hungry? And wouldn't saving somebody's life make you feel a lot fucking better than get $1,000? It would me. You could pay me a minimal amount and then just pay for whatever the accommodations are. Have me travel around and be a freaking advocate all over the world. As long as I got $1,500 a month, and you pay for all the accommodations, where we're flying to, you know, what we're eating, wherever we're going. As long as I get $1,500 a month that I can throw back for the future to do my own thing on the side too. I don't need money. I need money. I do need money. But not, I don't need ridiculous money. I want to make a difference. And I don't know how to do that yet. So I can't even find somebody to support and believe in me. Not enough to get me out of this situation. God damn, they're even getting on a freaking camera. So, well, tomorrow I'll either have a job or I won't. It's a really, really good job. As far as money goes. More money I've ever made. I won't have much time for everybody else. But I smoke for spiritual reasons. I got a medical card, even though it's 2 sides of nothing in South Dakota. As soon as you leave the building, you're illegal. Which that don't make no damn sense. But so then everybody has it. Just about everybody. Like even old people that I've talked to in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, every one of them will still say, well, I don't smoke pot. Oh, but if somebody has some gummies, shit, I'll take those on the weekend. Everybody likes weed. And so I just pray to God that my system was good enough. Because I don't know what I'll do without this job. But when it comes down to that, like, man, that's a total invasion of privacy, discrimination, all this stuff at once. I mean, getting a job is 100% about discrimination. And it doesn't have nothing to do with how qualified you are. At one place, unless I can provide the exact dates of all my job history past 4 years, they didn't want nothing to do with me. They need exact dates. I don't know. So basically, everybody's HR department is just eating up the company money. What are they doing in there, really? Payroll? Okay. Shit, that only takes one person. For even a huge company, I mean, pretty decent size, it only takes one person to do payroll. And that person probably has enough time to do the hiring process too. I mean, unless you got a huge turnover rate. And if your HR department's so fucking good, then there shouldn't be a turnover rate. If you only take in the people that perfectly fit these perfect standards while you're saying, oh, we're equal opportunity employer. Yeah, we hate everybody equally. Oh, but that's not true. Because if we hate everyone equally, then nobody'd work here or everybody get to work here. So that's a lie. And then, you know, respect is on a one-to-one basis. But when you come to a company, it doesn't matter who you deal with. There's this ghost that's running the place. This freaking ghost. Nobody's responsible, but everybody's responsible. But whoever they choose to be responsible, that mother is losing their job. But when they want a piss test from you, you can't be like, well, can I get a hair follicle sample from you while we're at it? You know, can I get you to piss in the cup for me? Oh, no. Okay. Where's the equality here? Oh, can I, if I'm going to work here and you're interviewing me, can I get a work history from you? I need your family name, who you married to, who your constituents, where did you work at before? Yeah, you mind if I call them all? Because I want to know who I'm working for. Oh, but I'm not working for you. Yeah, but you're the one interviewing me, you know? Like, you see the process here. And then they want to know, oh, are you gay? What race you are? All this. Oh, but those things don't matter, right? And then you get the companies that are like, oh, well, we got to get somebody from every demographic. Well, that's pretty discriminatory too, because I thought you wanted people who were going to fit the job. It wasn't based on whether who you have sex with. It wasn't based on what you looked like. Because none of those things have to do with whether you can do it, you have a skill or not. So basically, the hiring process has like 2% to do with anything related to a job. Ain't that weird? I got no contacts, ain't no friends. I'm blowing in the breeze, surrounded by little and big sharks. It's a hell of a struggle. You help somebody, sometimes that makes them start feeling guilty, and then they gotta stab you in the back for helping them. Especially if you're in their territory. Get mad at you because, well, I didn't tell you to do the dishes. What are you trying to say? I'm dirty? You're making me feel guilty about doing the dishes. So now I'm gonna kick you out for being nice. See, I've had that happen in places I've lived. I've had people kick me out for staying in my room because I didn't want any conflict. So they threw me out because I didn't participate in the group, drinking, drugging, bullshit in the living room. But threw me out for that. So you can't get away, and you can't stay, and then everybody decides when you get to go or not. Just like a business, they'll say, "Oh, well, you're part of a family." All right, well, man, that's just like my family. That's why I don't even call them, because all I get to hear about is all their troubles, and they all have each other holding each other up. And almost all their troubles, they made themselves pretty clearly. And there wasn't any kind of excuse. There wasn't any personal development involved. It wasn't a real struggle. All the struggles they got, they made for themselves and chose the struggle as a crutch. So that they'd have an excuse, but then that excuse isn't enough. So then they got to make another one and make another one, you know. Oh, well, I got pregnant, so then that's my reason for staying at home all the time and moving in with this guy I just met. And then, oh, well, I'm taking care of his kids too, and so now I don't have to work for 5 years. Oh, well, as soon as he starts bringing something up, then I'll start being like, it's too stressful taking care of all these kids. And now I'm going to go to the doctor. Oh, see, I got depression, and I need antidepressants, and maybe I'll find something else wrong with me, so you got to feel sorry for me, you know? Well, you go to work, and I sit at home for fucking 12 years. Why is the world like this? When will I find a group of people that are good all the way through? It's not just some kind of facade or just for temporary gains. I wake up every morning and go to bed every night on the verge of wishing I was dead. Now, I've been stuck in this reality for a couple of years now. Even when I had my own apartment, before I was so rudely treated. Why has every person that's ever assaulted me gotten to get away with it? And then it goes on so the first one, see, there's this kid, his name's Chris Harwood, right? I was living in Deadwood, I was about 24. So it was about 16 years ago, right? So here's a weird story. Let's see how detailed I want to get into it. I mean, it's 16 years ago, right? We all have shady pasts. Not that mine was shady, but especially if I'm telling you, right? We all been mixed up in shit that we didn't know where the fuck we were doing, or even if we did, we didn't seem to have a lot of choices, right? Hell, I'll just tell the story, the whole thing, up to this all. So, story time. This will take 20 minutes. So, right, I'm living at my mother's house in Oklahoma. I'm thinking about going to the military because I need a freaking home, and I need a band of brothers or family or something. I always need that my whole life and never had it nowhere. Even the military recruiter. See, at this time I was trying to go in the Army. Later on it was Air Force. Well, the recruiter's like, you allergic to anything? Yeah, I'm allergic to bees. That's it. Oh, you can't say that. Don't say that. I'm not going to put that down because you won't be able to get in. Okay. I'm not allergic to bees. All right, let's keep going. So he's going to legally get me in the military, just for his quota, not about my safety or the brothers' safety, If we're going to friggin' another country, whatever, of course I got good damn bees. And then I get stung and we're in the middle of something and you got a guy going into anaphylactic shock because a bee flew into his collar, right? That's not too smart. But anyway, out of the blue, from the Black Hills, I have this friend named Shane that just calls me up by the blue with these weird ass things that was happening to me. And he's like, oh, no, doggy. That's what he says. You don't go over there. Our other friend Corey, he just got back from Afghanistan, and shit over there is fucked up. Like, there's a little thing he told me right off the bat. He's like as soon as Corey got there, he was one of the first boots on the ground in Afghanistan. They thought, and that night they got there, they're thinking, yeah, we're gonna do a big help to the world because we're gonna burn these poppy fields. And heroin is one of the worst killers in the world, and its derivatives. And next morning, all these C-31s or whatever, fucking huge ass planes come in, open up, they drop off water wheels, they drop off John Deere tractors, they drop off everything, and turn this mother into a industrial farming operation. And then they took that. Now we're still protecting all of those poppy fields, and all the fentanyl in the world comes from there, pretty much. They moved fentanyl because you can do it in smaller doses, even though it'll kill you faster. Just like heroin's worse than morphine. Like, they just go up the ladder, so it just takes one little speck, and you're toast. All the hydrocodone, all the morphine, anything that's opiate derivative comes from those fields. 80% of the world's opioids grew there in the first place, so about 20% or less comes from Mexico. That's it, because it grows in such particular places. So whenever your kids OD on that stuff, right, who do you blame, right? But it could have been stopped, is what I'm saying. Because our government, or the coalition, or whatever you want to call it, takes all that stuff, clear cuts it, bags it up, and sends it to China, Australia, and Singapore, the main ones, to process it for all the pharmaceutical companies in America. And in the world, of course. Well, anyway, so he tells me this. He's like, no, don't go over there. Don't go over there. Why don't you just move up here? I'll send our other friend, Mark, and he'll come down and pick you up. You can stay with me, get on your feet and shit. Okay. So we get up there, and the very first day, I'm only there a couple hours, and then the car takes off with all of my stuff in it right after I get there. I have my stuff for like 24, 48 hours. Right away I get robbed, basically, temporarily. I get a job at McDonald's. And every single day, they would make sure, and Shane was making money off of selling weed before it was legal. He'd get it from Colorado. In huge amounts. Trying to know. But that's how he had the money. He was like, oh yeah, I'll bring you in, whatever. I'll pick you up and bring you up here and take care of you. Yeah, he didn't take care of shit. I still had to pay my rent. He made me walk to work every day. They would make sure in a house full of 4 people that nobody was there. Me and his other friend named Josh, Shane and his girlfriend would all disappear at the time I needed to go to work. So I'd have to walk. Then on top of it, so I'm working at McDonald's with a bunch of 14-year-olds. One of them spills a whole vat of grease on the floor. I slip, I fucking get hurt bad. And I come in and talk to the owner. This is the McDonald's in Spearfish, South Dakota, probably still by the same owner. He sets me down and he says, well, and I didn't know any better at the time because I never have anybody advocate for me. Well, maybe too old for this job. Maybe you should just quit. He just degrades me or whatever, and I'm already in a hard place in my life. And so I gotta limp out of there and fucking not come back to work. When I should have had a lawsuit. A couple weeks later, I freaking slip. I break my elbow. Now I'm crippled in the arm too. Then things get really tough. Shane wants to throw me out after not being there for me the whole time I was there anyway. And then wanted to bring me up to stick me in the situation. And me trusting him. My car breaks down. The $100 car I got, it just stops starting, period. Call my mom. She all but laughs at me. She's glad that I'm doing badly. Cause she just wants me in the basement like she has my brother now, as a pet. Through a drug deal, I don't have any money left. I have nowhere to go or whatever. And I'm sitting in this bar, hoping to run into somebody that has. I'm waiting for God to bring something to me, anything, any kind of situation. This guy comes up and says, hey, you want to buy something from me? And I'm like, I get it. Right now, I don't even care. Shit, why not? I ain't got nowhere to go. I got nothing. And this little bit of money ain't going to do nothing for me. Motherfucker roused me, of course. And the funny thing is, he's part of a biker gang and everything. So then the next weird thing that happens is, so the next night, because I got to move out of the person's house that I'm living in next. The weird thing is, this house, the person that's taking my spot when I had to move out, he'd already promised to somebody else. His name is Josh also. Why is there always another Josh everywhere I'm at? Why? Always. So I come back and I'm hanging out the next night in this bar. Horses and Harleys in Spearfish. And there's somebody else there that seems to be waiting for somebody all suspicious like. And I'm just like, something tells me to talk to this guy. This spidey sense, you know? So I talked to him and he's like, yeah, I'm waiting for that same motherfucker. I'm like, no fucking way. Yeah, he stole from me too, and I'm the dealer. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not cool. He's like, yeah, but he's part of a biker gang, and I know the leader of that biker gang. I'm gonna call that dude up. And so all of a sudden, like fucking 10 bikers show up at the bar and come in, meet up with this guy that's a dealer, but he's like a college kid. He's like an older college kid. His father was actually a professor at the college, and he's this main coke dealer in Spearfish at this time. How weird is that? See? It's never the ones you think. And then this biker robs the dealer who is tied to the college and tied to this rich kid and a biker gang. So then they all go over to this guy's house and beat the fuck out of him almost to death, and he's dying of cancer already. And he comes back and he's like, hey man, you know, here's your $50 back or whatever. What's your story or whatever? I kind of told him, I just need some money. I need a place to go. He's like, you know what? Here, I'll front you. I'll give you an 8-ball. Maybe you'll disappear on me. I'll never see you again. It's fine. I feel good tonight about what happened to that dude. So maybe I'll help you out. Or here's my address. You sell that, you come back, we'll talk. And the thing is, I never dealt coke or anything like that. I don't even deal with coke. I don't know. But like I said, this is 16 years ago. So I'm like, okay, I'll see what I can do. So on foot, I'm walking around, and by chance, within like 3 hours, I ran into 3 people who wanted it. Then 4 hours, I was back at his house. I was like, here's your money. Here's all your money. All of it. I didn't take any out. Here's every penny, plus some, because I charged him extra. He's like, holy fuck, god damn. Hey guys, he calls everybody in from the next room. This motherfucker's a goddamn magician right here. Somebody robbed him for his last $50 and I just gave him an 8-ball, and he comes back and brings me all that money plus extra. He didn't even do none of it. He ain't got no place to go. Look at this fucker. This is the golden boy right here. He's like, you know what? I got this little motherfucker, right? He lives in Deadwood and he's selling the coke for me. But he's been cutting it so he could do his own. And people have been pissed off and it's been getting back to me. I want you to go live with this motherfucker. Oh, right. Put me in another fucking bad situation. Funny thing is, we get up there and I'm thinking, okay, I got a place to live. Good, I got a place to live. But now I'm trapped under this fucking drug deal, this bullshit. I just want to fucking be safe. You know, this is where my life's been. If it relies on anybody, it's always wrapped up in other people's bullshit, right? Well, we're getting to the assault charge here thing. It's coming up. It's with this Chris K. So this Chris guy, I grew up with him. And his sister, my best friend Mark that came to get me, used to date his sister, Anna. Well, so every weekend, they'd bring up the stuff, and we go sit at the bodega, and basically I didn't really have a job, really. My job was, I don't know what my job was, honestly, because they wouldn't let him hold the shit, because the dealer would send a couple people up with the drugs, and one guy'd be like a huge guy, and he'd be like an enforcer, and then there was his girlfriend was this chick, and I think the enforcer would hold the money and the chick would hold all the drugs, you know, because that makes sense. And then they'd hand it out to Chris. Chris would come back and be like, here's the money, whatever, I need this much, and he'd go drop it off. Everyone around to the Celebrity, to the Saloon 10, to Oyster Bay, to the Silverado, to every casino on the Strip on Friday and Saturday nights. Now, I don't really know why I was there other than I had to live with the dude. So it was just a whole problem. Anyway, we did that like 2 weekends, and then all of a sudden, boom. Nobody shows up this next week. It's just me and Chris was in there at the bar waiting for something to happen. And I'm like, and we find out pretty shortly, oh, the dealer and all, the enforcer, his girlfriend, all of them, they're all busted. They're all in jail. They're going to federal. All this shit. And I'm thinking, whew, thank God, out of that shit. It's not like I can go anywhere else. I mean, might as well have a fucking gun to my head this whole fucking way. I'm thinking, all right, well, I know Chris. We're gonna be cool. I'm just gonna pay my rent to a couple months and get the fuck out of here, right? So what do? Well, during this time, I'd already gotten a couple jobs. I had 3 jobs right off the bat. 3 jobs. First thing in the morning, I was a barista at this place. And then in the evening, I worked at the Iron Horse Pub and Pizza. And then I got my gaming license, and I was working as a cage cashier. Graveyard. So I was working almost 24 hours a day to get up by this grave, right? I come home one morning after doing a bartending shift, and I had 1 or 2 drinks, and then walked home, 42 Denver Street. That was our address. Just right up the road. Which is the weirdest thing in the world. So I had a girlfriend several years before that we took a trip to the Black Hills. I was in college with her in Billings, Montana. We went to Deadwood, and she's a photographer, and she took a picture several years prior of that street where you could almost see the house because it just goes up and there's a little bend, and so one of the buildings blocks it off. Just perfectly right. I still have that picture in black and white. Weird, right? My life wraps around like this, but I'm almost stuck in the middle of a goddamn hurricane. Can't see out, can't see in. Can't grab anything out of it. It's going by too fast. Anyway, so I get home, and he's got like 4 or 5 people drugging it up in his room. I always try to stay away from that shit. If I've ever been on hard drugs, I want to be by myself. I've always used it for soul searching, to find my weaknesses, to see where it takes me in the spiritual realm, like, so I can learn about myself and my own weaknesses. Because I didn't go looking for speed or any of that stuff in the first place. It just kind of came to me because I wanted experience in life, and somebody's like, well, try this. Okay. Oh, that's what that is. And then you got a whole new problem in your life, right? Well, because I'm not a druggie. Not by any means. I've never used drugs for the same reason anybody else does drugs. I don't use it to run away, not escape, not stuff. I use it for insight and to better myself. Seems counterintuitive, but unless you know your weaknesses, then all your strengths are your weakness. So you got to take your weaknesses and turn them into strengths in order to balance your strengths. Otherwise, you got a huge ass back to stab. But that's hindsight, right? So they're all drugging it up in his room. And this is a house that got changed into 4 apartments. So half of the upstairs is our apartment, and it's like his bedroom, the living room, which I'm sleeping on the couch, and then a little tiny bathroom. And the living room also had like a kitchenette. Like the stove, sink, and fridge were all in one unit. You could pull away from the wall and roll around. It had like 1 burner on it. It's ghetto as hell. So I walk in, lay down, so I can go to work the next morning at like 7 o'clock. 4 hours worth of sleep. After just getting off of one job, go to the next job, go to the next job. I'm working my ass off trying to climb up, like I always do every time I get down. This motherfucker comes out, starts telling me, oh, you got to get out of my house right now. Just tonight. Right now. I remember it was like 2 days before Halloween. And I'd already paid my rent because I was that far ahead because I've been working my ass off. I've been saving my dollar bills for my tips. They were in a baggie, hidden somewhere. And I was stashing money every fucking place. I was spending nothing. After work, I get a free shift beer, and I drink my free beer, and I go home. Whatever I get for free, I got that, and everything else, the money's mine. So you gotta get the fuck up out of here. So, let me blow my nose here pretty quick. So I'm like, no, I already paid the rent. Let me wait till the morning and go get it back from the landlord. That's when he got really heated because I didn't realize that what he was planning, right? He needed me to have my $400 renting because it was $800 a month for the 2 of us. But previously, he would have to pay the $800 by himself. So he's thinking, oh, this is how I'm going to come up, see? If I take his $400 for the rent, now that he's caught up, then I have a $400 extra, and I can go buy a whole bunch of drugs and turn it over, and that's how I'm gonna get my come up off of losing my dealers that I was robbing too. People. Anyway, so he's got my face shit trying to get me to hit him and all this stuff, and I wouldn't do it. The only fight in self-defense. There ain't no reason to have to self-defense because, well, for one, if you got a fight that's weak in the first place, if you can't convince somebody with your words and negotiation, then that's weak as fuck to have to fight to prove your point because you didn't prove nothing out of you're a fucking animal. But, so, since I wouldn't, he takes and he just, like, basically grabs himself by the shirt, fucking throws himself through the fucking door, right? Slides across the floor, boom, splits his head open on a wooden chair that one of his friends is sitting in the room. And I'm like, it wasn't me. The motherfucker did it to himself. Of course, nobody's gonna believe that. Or they already knew what Chris was gonna do, right? So I'm like, fuck. I lay down. Boom, boom, boom on the door. Fuck it, cops. And I'm like, as I get up to go to the door, right? I didn't see when I walked in the house that Chris had left me, had written on the wall in magic marker, right behind where the door opens to cover it up. Oh, I'm gonna get your bitch ass out of this house to take your rent money, bullshit. Like, he fucking just told it all out right there on the wall. I'm like, what the fuck? And the cop comes over the door. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you Josh, whatever. Yeah, you assault this kid? No. He threw himself through the door. Yeah, well, there's witnesses that say otherwise. He has a mark on him, and you don't have a mark on you, so you're going to jail tonight. And I'm like, what about this on the wall? Yeah, well, you can deal with that in court. So I took a picture of it. Go to court. Well, so I had to spend the night in jail. Had to come over with the police the next morning. Well, actually, luckily, so then I walked to work. I was late to work because I was in jail for this bullshit. When I get to work, one of the housekeepers, fairly attractive lady, was like, hey, you know, you can stay with me and my son. This story keeps going. It keeps going. This is what it's like for me living with people, right? Might as well finish, keep going. So, she's like, you could stay with me here after work or whatever. Just give me a call. You can call the police. We'll go get your stuff, and I'll move you into my place. Oh, okay. Well, so to finish the part about the assault there, so I go to court. I have this proof against him. He's a known drug dealer, known druggie, all this. Everybody knows him. He's had all these court cases and shit. I'm clean as fuck. And I had this evidence that he was going to get me thrown out of the house that night, whatever. The DA just did continuance, and they're like, oh, pay $360. Boom, put it on your record. Look, you're an assault. You're violent now. You have a violent offense on your. When I ain't never touched nobody. Kind of like having to steal this summer to try to eat, and now it looks like I'm a thief. When I left all my information, yeah, I didn't steal shit. I didn't try to get away with shit. I'm not a thief, and I ain't never hurt nobody. That's beside the point. Just showing my character, right? And the stories of shit I've been through. So then this lady, right? She takes me up there. And the landlord, Chris, was dead set that, man, the landlord, he's a big dick. He ain't gonna ever give anybody their money back. I told him the deal. He was like, yeah, fucking pulls her out of his wallet. He's like, here's your $400. I'll deal with Chris. I'm like, fucking right. So then we get my stuff. Of course, this chick lives in the lead, and I don't have a car. So then she's my only, now I'm even further away from my jobs, then with somebody else. But I have my own room. But the first odd thing was, moving to her house, that place was vacant. Like, there was like a chair. Like, there wasn't even a vacuum. There wasn't a broom, a mop. They were barely eating off paper plates and shit. I'm like, what, you just moving here or what? They didn't really have an answer. Her son's like 18, 20 or whatever. This punk kid. Looked like trouble. So I'm like, well, here, let me give you the rent for the first month. No, you keep it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it the first month, okay? You just stay here for all November. You can pay it come December for December. Really? And you even got a bed in here for me? Yeah, you can stay in my son's room. It's fine. He's staying with his girlfriend anyway or whatever. We'll just clear his stuff out of there and you can stay in his room. It's fine. Sweet. I think I'm safe again. A week and a half go by, right? Well, no, like a week goes by and I'm like, hey, you know, I got this extra rent money and since you don't want it, let's go to the store. So we go down to Walmart and Spearfish. I buy her a vacuum, I buy her a dish drainer, I buy her a TV stand, I buy her dishes, I buy her a broom, a mop, I buy her a shower curtain, I buy her a bath mat, I buy her some shit for the bathroom counter. Basically, I'd fill this chick's house up and give her everything that she deserves and needs up in there. The empty house should have been the first clue. Should have been the first clue. So like a week and a half goes by, I come home. She's like, I need that rent money right now. What the fuck are you talking about? I already spent the rent money on you. It was only $250 and I spent like $350 taking care of your house. I thought we were square. No, I need that money right now or I'm going to get my ex-husband is going to come over here from Sundance, Wyoming and fucking kill you. Whoa. Where do we get to this place? Turns out she's a meth head. So luckily, somehow, nick of time, once again, I found somebody else to stay with. But that was in a room where I decided not to talk to anybody. And one of the housemates tried to stab me when I was doing dishes, was going to stab me in the back with a knife. He was all joking about it, and somebody told me about it later. Because I couldn't see him standing behind me, just like... And the whole fucking room's there like, yeah, I'm going to kill him right here, right in front of everybody. So I stayed in my room 24/7 when I wasn't at work. And it was like, it's like a closet space. And it was winter, it had no heat, it had no nothing. I was sleeping on the floor in there with my girlfriend that I'd come upon. And then since this guy wanted to stab me in the back, it's because he wanted my girlfriend. The only thing I got in the world, he's gonna kill me for my girlfriend. Since he couldn't, then they all conspired and threw us out of the house. But tried to get her to stay. And this is every single time I have to deal with other people in their house. If somebody stays in my house, shit, and it don't even matter we're married, I might as well just fucking set the place on fire. Because they're going to take whatever and it's going to be gone. This has been my life. Only time it's almost secure is if I live by myself, I got a good job, and I go home every night, and I do not leave my house. Except for to go to work. And if I want a treat, I'll drink by myself or I'll smoke by myself, and that's all I've had my whole life. And that's why I spent over 10 years of my life coming home from work, getting stoned, and studying for 2 to 4 hours every night, trying to figure a way to get the fuck out this motherfucker to make a difference in the world or in my own life. And I'm still here at 40. Back at Deadwood. This is how everybody treats me. I don't know why. This is how people who I've known treat me. How strangers treat me. How my family treats me. Yeah, I still got a big heart. And I still want the best for people. I don't want to live in solitude, hiding in the corner. I'm still not afraid of people. I still want to make a difference. I hope there's a way. If I don't get this job tomorrow, I don't know. It'll all be based on it, whether a computer says I'm clear to go or not. Based upon the last time I did that. No matter what I tried to do. Maybe I'm good, maybe I'm not. They'll decide my fate. The moment I find out, oh, nope, then they're going to be all over my shit up in this house, too. Might put out over 50 resumes, and hell, this is the only one that actually got me far enough to take a test. Everybody else has something against me, I don't know. I see the paper hired a bunch of people, and somebody who works there told me about it. And then it was only a couple days later, I see, oh look, one of them must not have lasted because I'm getting ads still. I just got another ad. Hey, you want to come back and try to get hired again? Why don't you pick me the first goddamn time? Instead you picked a college kid. Damn. See, they always pick anybody and everybody over me. What? What's racism when you got to pick a black person, a Mexican person, a gay person, a freaking short person, a tall person, an alien, and fucking everything over Josh because he's white, he's educated, and he's not ugly as fuck. I mean, shit. So that's the last person anybody's allowed to hire is him. Because he looks like he should run shit, he should own something, but nobody's going to let him do that because everybody wants to steal off him. The second he has 2 pennies, then he'll be one in the hole. It's been going on so long. I doubt there's been a week in my life that hasn't been like this somehow. Even when I lived alone, it'd be something. Somebody fuck with my car while I was in the lot, and then I'd be fixing that. That set me back another 3-4 days worth of work, and so on and so forth. It's like I'm just the biggest target in the universe on me, and nobody's willing to say, hey, this is my brother. Anything happens to him, he's fucking dead. You know, where he goes, I go, because he's the most honorable person I know. Like, nobody takes me in. Unless it's just so they can stab me in the back. That'll be their next victim. My mother, supposedly, I can't trust anything she says. She's a habitual liar. That my sister's husband paid for her and my sister to go to Mexico in February or March. So then, instead of my mother sending me any money to help me out or anything, she only wants me to be there, right? So that she can use me indefinitely and I can't, you know. And she tells me, oh, you don't care about the family. As if she knows anything about family. If I'm not there as everyone's slave or their excuse is somebody to beat on, whatever, make fun of, and talk about behind their back, then I'm not a part of this family. You know, it's narcissism at its best. So she goes to Mexico and instead, you know, buys a bunch of shit for me. Tells me she'll send it to me. Yeah, right. You ain't gonna send it to me. You gotta keep it there to try to get me to come home so I'll get it. Like I give a fuck about the stuff, Mom. I wanted a family. I want some support, somebody I can talk to. If I need a leg up, you know, loan me $1,000 so I can get an apartment today. Because I know you got it. Shit hurt. My stepdad's family, they got all these kids. A lot of them are slow or druggies or whatever. And they're just low class people. Whatever. But everybody's themselves. That's not dogging on nobody. But the part I'm dogging on here is, so every time, see, they go spend all their money on drugs and shit, right? And then they call Glenn crying and want money from the family business, which I should have a part in because I'm part of the family, right? And I ain't never seen a dime. He'll give him like fucking $2-3 grand, whatever. But when I call, there ain't no money. Ain't no money. Somebody she's gonna send me $800 or $2 grand on my birthday. That was where this shit kicked off. Fucking 4 months ago. I mean, it got real. Since my mother wouldn't help me out, and the whole world knew that they could do whatever they wanted to me. Well, she just lays in bed, watches TV all day, has my sister run her errands and shit, bribes my brother to fucking do things with drugs, with alcohol, with candy. Like, seriously, I'm not even joking. And I'm out here wanting to be a leader, wanting to make a difference, wanting a family. And every family I've supported, after a while, my wife wants to go backwards. And so she drops me off in the fucking woods, metaphorically, and then takes off with half of what she can get. Ends up in a worse situation, always tries to come back. That's how it goes, every time. That's why I'm not married. But I always have to be there for their kids as my own. And I always am. I mean, I don't have to. That's who I am. I play with them, try to teach them stuff. Finally, like, everything's going like it was supposed to go when I was a child. And be able to do it for somebody else. There's joy, you know. And then she always has to fuck it up. Make sure we don't have our time, or fucking talk behind my back, or make sure to pick fights about nothing right for the kids, and the kids don't know what's going on or whatever. Make a big old scene and take the kids over their mothers or whatever, and it just make me look like a piece of shit when I'm actually the pillar of the whole family. And every time. No, there is somebody that I'd like to date in town. Keep running into her. Of course, she's a single mom. She's young, but a single mom, and she's working 2 jobs. So it seems like she's actually got a little bit of a head on her shoulders. She's been through some tough times. Been through all that drug shit. Been through bullshit. And it's found out what it's like to be responsible and have to carry 2 people. Which I've always had to carry more than one, that's for sure. Who knows? I'm just trying to survive till tomorrow. And pray I don't get a message that says, "Oh, sorry, we don't need you now." So that's where we're at. There's our hangout with Josh. Y'all have a good day. Peace.